Good evening, fiends. Welcome to another episode of Sinister Parlor Podcast. I'm Zombie Barbie with my awesome and amazing, incredible co-host, the one and only Bud Veno.
Rhiannon Nicole, how are you tonight, my friend?
I am so good and so excited.
Good. And I have to say, Rhiannon Nicole and Bud Veno, the dynamic duo, September 26th. It's not the 27th, Rhiannon, right? 26th.
No, 26 all day.
2020, approximately 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And Rhiannon, I am absolutely tickled. I think I only use that word on the show. I don't think I use it in every other. I'm so tickled to be on with you again, my friend. How are you?
I'm so good. How are you? I'm excited.
Good. I'm very excited, although I don't know why. I keep putting my drink here, and I keep thinking it's over there. So I'm going to put it here, but now I'm going to think it's right there on my shelf, and I'm going to look for it, and you're going to see me.
I'll know what you're doing, though.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I just didn't want to see, all of this, yeah. It's good. So how was your week? We weren't on last week.
No, we were preparing for this week.
Yes, we had a very productive, busy, and awesome week with booking some extraordinary guests.
Yes, I can't wait.
And that has been awesome. And I'll give a big shout out to Rhiannon Nicole for her awesome work with some of those awesome guests that we're going to be having.
Thank you.
Thank you in advance. And we're looking forward to all those great guests, which we'll mention whenever Rhiannon would like to, perhaps at the end of the show, perhaps at the middle, or we want to keep people guessing. We don't know.
I think we should keep them guessing. That way it's just like a surprise as soon as you post it. Like, oh, shit.
Yeah. I'm very excited. And I started researching. I'm like, ooh, this is getting more fun. We've got some people that have done some amazing work in the past and currently.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. And speaking of currently, Rhiannon, tonight we almost forgot. We're going to be discussing Rob Zombie's 31, baby.
Yes.
Did we almost forget what we were talking about? But that's the wonderful thing. We're always in my living room.
Yeah, see, and we can always bring it up. But yeah, 31, right, which is the movie that originally brought us together and blossomed our friendship because we're huge Rob Zombie fans. And 31 is our go-to movie, always. That
is. And that, again, it was such a beautiful union from the start.
Yeah.
We were fused together in love for Rob Zombie's 31, which includes Mr. Richard Brake, the main character, Doomhead.
Amazing. Our favorite character.
Rhiannon, I noticed, and I know you did, this morning Mr. Brake liked our post about this show on Instagram coming out.
Yes.
So, we say thank you to Mr. Richard Brake, and we'll send you this show privately, sir, and maybe you can come on and join us. If you watch the show and you like what you see, and I think you will, I know you will, I don't think I know, come on and join us. Would love that. Would be honored, Rhiannon. I know that. Gosh. And in all seriousness,
yes,
it was an honor. It's always awesome when someone that you're doing the show about acknowledges it.
Yeah.
Very humbling and flattering.
Especially our favorite guy. Like, I couldn't even contain it. I was like, oh my gosh, he saw it.
It was classic. It was, Rhiannon. Oh my god. I'm like, oh shit, who died? I said I knew what it was, and I was the same way. As I told you, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
And of course, I messaged my wife, and I messaged John Mondu, who I've mentioned on the show before. John's a dear friend of mine, like myself.
Mm-hmm.
And he was excited about it, too. He loves our shows, big supporter. He was busting my hump again because I mentioned I still haven't watched The Human Centipede.
Oh.
And so he's like, no, he goes, I want you to watch. He goes, you misspoke on the last show. He goes, I want you to watch. I want to F you up. And I said, that's true brotherhood there. I absolutely. And John informed me there's a Centipede 2 and 3, so I did go on Prime. I want to give a shout out directly to John. And the reviews, I've never seen, it was like, the reviews were like, don't watch this unless you want to be F for life. Like, literally, I'm like, well, of course now I have to watch it.
Yeah.
As I said before, but now I'm like, it's like telling a kid, don't touch the stove because it's hot. Of course I'm going to touch the thing.
Yeah, you're like, are you sure I can't touch it? Yeah, you need to watch it because, like I said, I don't want to be the only one traumatized because a lot of my friends don't like horror movies, so I can't get them to watch that one. And, yeah, I have no words. It's just so
I did Google the premise of it. I'm like, ugh, even reading it. I'm like, what the? Man.
Who the fuck thought of that? That's the thing. It's so mouths to assholes.
I'm like, whoa. and it said on the Prime. If you look up the original, it said that like a ton of the actors and actresses like that read for it when they found out what it entailed, they walked the fuck out.
They're like, no.
That's you can't really blame you. There's threshold pushing, and then there's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't mind a little bit of crazy.
Yeah, but the actors and actresses that did it, I mean, people are talking about it, so it made its mark.
Well, it's precisely, Rhiannon. That's an astute observation. That's very good because I thought the same thing. Like it bringing. I'm looking at it right now. We're talking about it.
Yeah.
And we're not the only ones.
No.
So now I have to see because I've seen everything in real life, so I can't imagine something's going to really F me up. But it could add to my list of issues. I'm sure. There's always room for more, as Freddy Krueger would say. Right?
So gross. Oh man, you're gonna have to tell me when you watch it because I just got to know that you watched it.
I probably will, like 3 a.m. John can't wait because he just wants my reaction from it too. So that's what. Yeah, like I said, he said, "Yo, you misspoke, man. I'm not trying to protect you from it. I'm looking to give you. Oh, he said, I'm looking to give you nightmares, MFer."
Yeah.
All right.
It probably will. It's gross.
Yeah, John just wants me to have nightmares and call him. That's all. He loves shooting the shit. So, and I love it too. So no, and one of the most, as we said, our favorite character in 31. Speaking of crazy characters,
yes,
Doomhead, baby.
Doomhead. Just the name is incredible.
Rhiannon, there's something about I don't know. I can tell you that my wife is the same way. Before we met, too, that was originally too when we first started talking. And there was another female that actually liked 31.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, whoa. So we started talking about that. And my wife's messed up like you, too. I think that's why we get along so well. We all do.
I love her.
It's one big, happy, crazy family.
Yes.
But it's one of those movies, we talked about, Jenkins, I refresh myself on 31. I've seen it more than 31 times, probably. But I figured before we do shows, I like to refresh.
Yeah, yeah.
There could be things I may have missed. But as I said to her, when you go into a Rob Zombie movie, because when there's certain things that people criticize about, the different movies that he does.
Yeah.
You know what you're going in for. You know that, so just take it for what it is, as we've talked about before, and enjoy it. Mm-hmm. You're not always going in for the dialogue, although Richard Brake's dialogue was incredible right from the start of 31, which really set the tone, man.
Yeah. Yep. And I loved how they did it in black and white. It just made it look more sinister and like, oh, this guy's about to fuck someone up.
Yeah, well, that cinematography, that's one thing. Rob Zombie is very strong when it comes to cinematography and just mood setting and everything. And I loved, as you said, the black and white and the old music.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That was kind of dimly playing and then just the real close-up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd have to ask Mr. Brake, because now I'm curious, and since he acknowledged the show, if he comes on, sorry, Mr. Brake, when you come on. I said to Allie, I'm like, I bet he practiced that opening scene in the mirror by himself. I wonder. I wonder if he's the type of, like, for me, because it seems like it was so perfect.
Yeah.
And every movement was intentional, like in terms of his face, and you could feel everything, and it really puts you right away on that edge, as we say. That's why people go to watch movies and are movies that are actually good, mm-hmm. that hit you emotionally, because you're right away, you're like, what the hell is this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was an opening scene that was poetic, Rhiannon.
It was, because he is no fucking clown.
Yeah, in hell, everybody loves popcorn.
You know what they say, Kemosabe? In hell, everybody loves popcorn.
That is my favorite. That's my favorite line.
Yeah, definitely. That's a classic. And it's one of those little things I forgot. I forgot about the German dude.
The little Nazi.
That's like, and he's like, come here, you, and he's, we were laughing. Come on, I want to see you.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the woman that was in there with him too, and I got to look up her name because I had it earlier. She does a ton of voiceover work.
Oh, was she the one that's like, Popeye? That one?
Yeah, that's her, yeah.
Yeah, she was in Tony's Big Adventure, wasn't she? I think she was Dottie. Well, you knew from the instant she was going to be something fucked up, because just the way her mannerisms mannerisms were, how she was, just suddenly there, and she was, messing with Jeff Daniel Phillips. Like, you knew she was bad.
Well, yeah, and watching it today, it's funny because Rob Zombie, he has that overt sexuality in some characters, and it's always funny that to see the men in those movies kind of be hooked into that blindly, without seeing the evil around it. They're just led by their penises. So, you know what I mean? So, and I found that funny in terms of that, but you could totally see she was like really, and he was, she seemed, pretending like she was into him, so he was all like, And then you knew too, and he knew when they finally met again on their not so good. Hey, Allison, what's the woman's name? That was the, we're on the show right now, but I failed because I had I knew, what's the lady's name that was, the sexy one says sex, the sexy one that has the sexy voice?
It's Elizabeth Daily.
Is it Elizabeth Daily?
Yeah. And her name was Sexhead.
Sexhead.
Allison, said that.
You're my producer. This should have all been written right here. We don't have to talk. You're in trouble.
You're all
I'm
serious.
her supervisor.
Sexhead.
Yeah. Come here, you fucking guns! That's the laugh you love. I want to see you!
But yeah, she was fucked. And then, so I was telling you earlier before we started recording, I had Bill Oberst Jr., who's one of my personal friends on, and he was in this movie. Or, I mean, not this movie, I'm sorry. He was in Three from Hell, and how you were talking about Rob Zombie's cinematography and stuff. Bill was saying that he is such a well-oiled machine when it comes to filming. Like, he knows exactly what he wants, exactly how he wants it, and he makes sure every single shot is exactly what's in his mind.
Yeah, well, I've read that about him, too. It's pretty, he's real business, and he knows his shit. He's really stringent on what he... which I say I love his stuff. Like I said, I don't think you go into it, and some people have said that the dialogue suffers for some of the other things in terms of different movies. That's true with everybody. But you have some directors like Rob Zombie who obviously, he's got a massively artistic, number one, his music, which we've talked about before.
Yeah.
But then his movies, which he incorporates a lot of that in the beginning. That's why I think House of a Thousand Corpses, it seemed like a music video type in a lot of ways. And then when he did Rejects, he got more mainstream with it. But the point too is, I think you see that artistic, and I don't mean at all in terms of like Quentin Tarantino, that style. I mean, Rob has a very distinct, fun style, and usually throws something in there that you're not expecting, or just a shot. I think he realizes or has his view on what works, and a lot of his stuff. No, you can't really knock his ability to again, his cinematography is top notch. Yeah, so good stuff.
Yeah, and he shocks you too. Like, he always has that shock factor in there. And it's a lot of areas, I think, that some directors won't touch because they're like, oh, I don't know what people are going to think about that. He doesn't give a shit.
Right.
He'll make you uncomfortable.
It reminds me, too, of his 2007 Halloween.
Yeah.
Which some people love, some people hate because of the 78 original. I love it. And some people have knocked that, because he humanizes Michael Myers in 2007. It starts him off with a boy, a boy that has childhood issues. But I think it's great because he was doing something different. He wasn't being exact. And I kind of like the two different styles because I can accept and go with that Michael Myers from 78 was that soulless, just epitome of evil, on two legs. But I can also buy that reimagining of, that boy that had issues. Now, I love them both. The 2007 Rob Zombies I can relate to in terms of what that boy experienced and what made him like that. And remember I told you on past shows I always wanted to be more evil than I was. I wanted to hate more. So my point is, even though I know that's, in terms of when you get older, you figure things out, things become different. It was cool in the sense of to see how other directions can go if you don't have those epiphanies in life.
Yeah.
If you let that evil take you over. So it's a really cool. I love the first one, to watch it for what it is. And I don't need the remake to be what the original was totally. I actually don't want it to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, It's he definitely has an awesome take. He has, as you said, there's usually at least one character that in his movies, if not more, that are amazingly off-putting and different.
Yeah.
That's what people fell in love with. I don't think he ever thought of this. I mean, it's just one of those things that happens with Miss Sherry Moon Zombie in terms of Baby and Three from Hell, Devils, Rejects, and Corpses.
Mm-hmm.
And Captain Spaulding, rest in peace today.
Yeah.
And Bill Moseley, who we talked about a little before the show. Maybe we can get Mr. Moseley on, too.
That would be incredible, too.
But he has the ability to make you kind of love certain characters, and you shouldn't.
Yeah.
But he brings out that side in a lot of us, especially as horror fans, or have that affinity for whatever reason. It brings out that fun side, you know. And we understand if you're healthy that it's a movie. But I think for a lot of us, and I know for you too, Rhiannon, that it can be therapeutic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of the movies are very therapeutic, and we have fun with them. We lose the world when we watch them. You know, we really thoroughly, it's our soap opera.
Yeah.
We just wait for the next show, like we want the next Halloween, Chris Duran. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
give a shout out to Chris, as we do on every show now, because we love Chris so much.
He's amazing. We love you.
Michael Myers from H2O, for the few out there that may not know. Chris Duran has become such an awesome friend of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And on a personal level, has helped me so much with so many things. And just, the guy is absolutely an amazing human being. So anyway, give a shout out to Mr. Duran out there, since we're coming up on Halloween, Rhiannon, not too long from now.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. I'm going to get him to, I keep pushing him to come stay. I'll have to get around Halloween and have Michael Myers show up at my door, the actual Michael Myers in the mask. Freak my family out.
Well, if he comes, I want to come out there at the same time. We'll have like a whole big family party.
There we go. We'll have a nice bonfire and we'll dance around.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be cool. Richard Brake will join us.
Oh, man, yeah.
We'll all have a big fiery mess and have fun and tell stories.
That'd be so cool.
That's our idea of heaven.
Yeah, that's like our wish list.
Right. It's our Christmas is coming.
Yeah. Well, you know how you said that Rob Zombie, like the characters, you're not supposed to love them, but you do. I mean, Doomhead is a perfect example. He's the worst out of the bunch, but he's our favorite. We fucking love him.
He's so eccentric and raw.
Yeah.
Again, I always love the scene. I won't get into it too much. When they first call him, when he's with that woman, and the dialogue that he says always cracks me the hell up. And it's one of those things, like, I couldn't believe I didn't remember it right away. I'm like, oh my god, this scene. I'm like, oh my god. Yeah. This is perfect. It makes it, we love it. Yeah. And yeah, there's something, because like I said, we had an affinity, Allison and I, and we love Doomhead. So when I knew you were like, oh, I love him, like, really? And you don't get to meet a lot of people that, not only, because we have a lot of people we know that love the character, but really have an in-depth understanding of the character and the depth of it and all the lines.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what we started doing, is laughing and saying the lines back.
Yeah. Yep.
So we were testing each other when we first met.
Yes, we were.
Let's see if this person's legit.
Approved.
We're gonna throw some stuff at him. Here we go. I'm gonna type this to Rhiannon and see if she corrects me. In hell, everybody likes suntan lotion. Let's see what she said. What are you talking about? Because I knew she'd be like, yeah, I love that part. Like, get out of here. But if she blocked me right away, then I'd know that she would think that I wasn't a pianist. So yeah, but no, it worked out.
Yeah, it did.
It worked out, and here we are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we should have done? I should have made some popcorn.
Oh yeah, that sounds really good.
If Richard comes on, we will. I'll have a big vat of popcorn. I'll have popcorn all around me, hanging off of everything, with a big sign that says "Hell" behind me, blinking. Just throwing popcorn up.
That'd be awesome. No.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, the one thing about 31 too is some of the characters are some of the knocks of it is a lot of the characters were reminiscent of, like, Devil's Rejects and things like that. Mm-hmm. And some, I guess, were, but Doomhead wasn't at all.
No.
So, and that, as we said, he was so great, and obviously we loved seeing him in Three from Hell because we loved Doomhead. It's sad in the sense of Sid Haig having less time because of him passing away.
Yeah.
Of course. And I think even Richard Brake himself, I'm sure, would have rather had Sig healthy in here.
Yeah.
And doing more of a role. So, but again, he picked it up, and he really had a seamless, part of the family, I should say, in Three from Hell. It was good. We knew it would be. A lot of people have said, too, he'd make a great Joker, which is a lot of times what we think of when we watch 31 and Doom It.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's just that fucked up, Brandon. But also brilliant.
Yeah.
Richard Brake has a really uncanny ability to... That's why I said I'm really interested to see his process, if he just kind of retains, or if he sits in the mirror either way, or just lets it go organically. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was a performance of a lifetime. Oh, and we were saying, too, he has a lot of other things coming out.
Yes. There's 2 I am dying to see that I've been watching the progress of them. They're out now, but before, when he was posting on it, I was like, holy shit, I can't wait for that. But Perfect Skin and The Dare.
Yes.
I want to see those so bad.
Yep, he's when we started talking about that earlier, Ian, I was surprised. I couldn't believe how much I knew he had been in a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But he has, as you said, Perfect Skin. I believe that's one you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
The Sisters Brothers, that came out in 2018. A little movie called, it says Three from Hell. I don't know.
What movie's that?
2019. Yeah, he was something like that.
Some movie.
Stupid. Yeah, 2019, he was in a movie called Feedback. Again in 2019, The Dare. 2020, The Rhyme Section. And then he's in another installment of Tremors and The Virtuoso, which are both in post-production.
Wow, he's working hard.
I said, he has been a busy beaver. And that doesn't include all the television stuff he's done. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Mandy.
Yeah.
He was in Mandy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you were saying that, too, up here. Yeah, he's got this way about him. It's a weird thing, and I equate it like this, and I'm not sure if this is the best way to do it, but when I think of the reality is, too, there's a lot of women, and it's crazy. I think it's like the Tony Soprano thing. There's a sexuality about it,
mm-hmm.
which when you see the movie, it's crazy, but it's drawing. And I don't mean that in a terms of, I'm talking about women. The same with Tony Soprano, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Totally different, but I mean, like almost, honestly, a depraved character in terms of a lot of moral decisions or things that he does. But I think it's that masculinity in movies sometimes, that genuine, raw masculinity mixed with genuine confidence,
mm-hmm.
because that doesn't always go hand in hand, and the ability to articulate himself in a very menacing way. And he has a very distinct look about him. Richard Brake does.
Yeah.
Anyway. He definitely an interesting character, which, I mean, they couldn't have cast anybody. Richard Brake is Doomhead. Doomhead is Richard Brake,
it
feels like. That,
yeah.
It's perfect.
Well, I even got this poster, so I met him and Jeff Daniel Phillips at Crypticon, and so this was before they were there. Well, it's not that they were there promoting, but Three from Hell wasn't out yet, and so I saw this poster, and he signed it, and he said, "I'm not crazy, I'm in control."
Oh my God!
I was like, "Oh shit!"
The reason too is I had tagged him in a meme I had done on Instagram a couple years back, as I told you on a show I was on, and that was the meme because it looked like it was just a still shot, but I was kind of going like this, and the other a couple people on it were looking at me kind of almost like, and I wrote like, "I'm not crazy, I'm in control. I'm not crazy, I'm not in control. No, I'm not. Fuck," and then ...
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny that was on that post.
Control. I'm not crazy, I'm in control. I'm not crazy, I'm in control. I'm not crazy, I'm in control. I'm not
But when we first met too, I had seen the pictures of Richard and Jeff on your wall. It was cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were so nice. They were really, really cool. I get so nervous, like when there's, actors and stuff that I look up to, because I always feel, and I know that that's what they're there for, is, to meet their fans and stuff, but I always feel like I'm bothering them, and they were so warm and so nice, and just, they were talking and, just having normal conversation. It was so cool to see, like, these people that you idolize that they're nice, and they treat you nicely.
Well, the one thing too about, and I can't say, like, I know a little more about Richard Brake than Jeff Fahey, but they both seem, it's cool too when you see, as I know we're connected to him on the show page too, Richard Brake on Instagram. He's amazingly artistic.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, in terms of, there's depth to them as human beings.
Yeah.
And they seem pretty sure of themselves. I think when you have someone that's confident and again, centered, as we talked about, happy people don't cut others down, they only try to build them up. So money and fame doesn't always equate to happiness or being centered.
Yeah.
But so you have some of the perception is that people, a lot of actors are snobby or stuck up, and some are.
Some are, yeah.
That I've run across. That even with, but for the most part, that's a weird thing. For the most part, and I think of Chris Duran right away. I think of Larry Zerner. I think of people even like Deb Voorhees that I've interviewed for. These amazing people that are so accommodating, so humble, and just are excited to tell their stories.
Mm-hmm.
They're proud of it, but they're humbled by it. And I think age brings that sometimes too.
Yeah.
Because no matter who you are, this is how life goes. Ready?
Fuck yeah.
No matter who you are.
Yeah.
So, and so you enjoy it all. You enjoy the bad because good's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And you enjoy the good because you understood the bad it took to get there. And if you're smart, that's what you hang on to. And that's what will keep you up there, is remembering what was down here.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
And it seems like they do. And I think part of that is acknowledging your fans.
Mm-hmm.
And people that, as you said, that look up to you and who admire you. And everybody has boundaries, and they should.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, Richard Brake and the cast are pretty accommodating. So it's awesome to see when, as you said, when you admire people like that and they're down to earth.
Mm-hmm. Even Pancho Moeller, who played the Nazi, if you go on his page, he's very artistic. He paints and he skateboards, and I think he's a sponsored skateboarder. However you say that, skateboardist.
Really?
Yeah, he's got like him and his wife do comedy, because I believe she's a comedian.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and he seems so nice.
Well, as I spoke about before, too, it's funny thinking back, because the very first person that I interviewed that was actually like a name was Larry Zerner a few years ago, well before our show. So, so it's really cool because remembering it, I had never really even spoken to anybody like a lot that on his level, and especially with being one of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah.
So, and we had done the show for a while, and I think at the time, I may have sent Larry some stuff on it, and just so he could, and he was really accommodating, got back to me, and we actually, I ended up calling him. He said, why don't you call me, we'll book it. And I remember I'm like, call you? Like, I'm like, oh shit. Like, I had never, and I'm like, what? Call you? And it blew me away. And we're talking. I've talked to Larry about this more, because he always tries to, as you know, on the show, because he's pretty like, I'm like, dude, it is. Oh, it's not. I'm like, you have no idea the impact you've made on certain people's lives in a positive way.
Yeah.
And that's one of them. In terms of, he had no idea how green I was to that sort of thing when it came to, and he treated me with the utmost respect. I remember calling him, and right away, oh, hi, Mrs. Zerner, call me Larry. Right away.
He's humble.
And again, we did the show on Halloween quite a few years ago. And we've maintained that contact, and on Facebook we don't talk a lot because he's busy too. He has a life, and we don't need to. It's a great relationship and awesome. I love the guy, but the point is, he really, really made it fun, and really made it so for me there was a standard. One of the things that Larry, again, that he might not know, I have a certain standard too, and he helped to break, to help with that, because I'm like, okay, this is the way people are. This is my standard in terms of when I deal with, because I know how, in terms of, it really helped me too in terms of just being able to deal with people. And I'm pretty good at it anyway. I have a lot of experience in sales and radio too before, but not with somebody like him.
Yeah.
And Larry will say, oh, I'm no, whatever, that's none of it. I'm not, I didn't, but he's an awesome guy, and he's done a ton. And it was honestly very, very much the same as Deb Voorhees always was with me, and the same as Chris Duran. I mean, Chris Duran, above and beyond.
Oh,
I mean, well above and beyond. Even just with our show, and it's been an absolute you never know who you're going to really bond with either.
Mm-hmm.
When you have people on, a lot of times you have guests and you don't talk to them again. I maintain good relationships, but you don't, they're guests and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And with Chris, especially, I've really developed an actual, really genuine friendship. Somebody as I told you, I forget sometimes, that it's Michael Myers because I've just really got to know him as Chris Duran, and I love what I know. So it's honestly, I feel blessed.
Mm-hmm.
I really do to be doing this with you. Have people like Richard Brake acknowledging the show, someone like Chris Duran on Larry's Turn. I mean, said to Al even today, I'm like, whoever would have thought? And it just goes to show what we always talk about, law of attraction.
Yeah.
You got to put in the work, but you really can. I mean, this is what I always want to do in terms of these people. And so when you put your mind to it and you work toward that goal,
mm-hmm.
and you have a passion for it, you got it.
Hell yeah. Yep. Well, it's like just everything with us is so connected and in sync. It's amazing. I've never had that with anybody in general, but just even work wise, it's like I've never had that, and it's crazy. Like how we were talking, our periods would sync up. We joke about that on every show, but we have migraines the same time. We're tired the same time.
Yeah.
We're unbelievabably tired at the same time. We have,
eyes are burning at the same time. We put eye drops in at the same time.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Blaring music at the same time. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is amazing, I will say, because there's been some moments I'm like, what? I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy how connected we are. But I think it's one of those things, too, there's that intangible, I think, that makes us work. As we've said before, we genuinely love each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's a genuine, and I think when you have that bond, when, again, there are no egoic traits involved when it comes to jealousy or any of the sort of things that hinder people, when you actually have two people that are really linked like this,
mm-hmm.
and really, it really just all connects, and it's something you can't teach. And as we've talked about off the air, and I've talked to my wife about, it's just like a marriage in the terms of, or a relationship. The best sex you have is when you fully trust the person, right? That's when you can really be who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same with when we do the radio. I've said, the best sex we're going to have when it comes to like best shows, mm-hmm. you can only do it if you fully, genuinely trust the person.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, it seems contrived, it seems forced, it seems everything that it shouldn't be. And that's the intangible. What is it? What is it? Well, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't worry. You don't worry about the other person. You continue to build. And you keep harnessing that and doing what you love.
Yeah.
And I think it's, again, I feel blessed that I do this with you.
Me too. I'm so happy. I love it. And I love Allison is involved too. Like, her little giggles in the background and you guys joking. And so I love that so much.
And like I said, because she's seen me for years too, do shows and stuff. And she knew exactly what I was looking for in terms of what I want to do after, finally I'm like, you know what, I'm going to kind of focus a little bit on what I want to do when I think it's fun in this world right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I did years of different things, and Allie's seen the happiness too and the connection we have all the way around. It really works so perfectly,
mm-hmm.
because Allie encourages it. She's seen me like really, enjoy what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, it's like, Allie and I don't believe happy wife, happy life. We believe happy spouse, happy house. So in terms of both of us,
Yeah.
And she always reminds me of that too. So I love her for that.
Yes.
And I've said to her, it wouldn't be as if she wasn't the type of person she is, it wouldn't be the same, and if you weren't the same as you are, and it's all very, again, it's probably nauseating to people, but all very, very genuine love in the sense. I think that's why we're so connected.
Yeah.
Besides that intangible, unearthly bond,
mm-hmm.
But also just that purity in it. That no ill intentions, no hidden agendas.
Yeah.
No secret bitterness, no secret jealousy, no two-faced bullshit.
Yep.
A lot of people can't do that, and that's why they won't work.
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
You can't teach it, along with being the best in the business, baby. But also, that connection is what puts it over the top. Definitely. And I can tell you, even John Mondu, he's watched me since day one. And he said, I think that's one of the best I've ever seen in terms of when we run together and having fun and doing this. He loves it.
Aww.
He loves it. He's always encouraged me to do things like this, and he's always believed in my talent. And even when I haven't,
mm-hmm.
he gives me that kick in the ass because he sure does.
Oh,
and I believe in his too. So again, it's all good.
yeah.
Should we sing Kumbaya around a bonfire
We
right now? Hold hands?
should. Light the bonfire. Get out your guitar.
Feel so calm. So anyway, I feel so calm. Ooh, let's talk about that axe that you had rammed in that priest.
Killings.
Killing.
Yeah. So Sherry Moon Zombie is an actress I really, really, really look up to. I just love all of her characters that she does. And I was reading this thing on her. Well, it was like an interview her and Rob did together. And she didn't set out to be an actress. That's why she only does his films, is because he's the director and he wants her to do it. But she wanted to be a voiceover artist.
She's actually very good. And in 31, I think it's so badass when she's like, do it. And then she cuts that girl's throat.
Yeah.
She's sexy as hell anyway. I'm sorry.
She is.
My wife would agree. My wife would agree, and I know you would too.
Yeah.
It's one of those people that has that natural sexuality without trying.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so sexy. Like, what the fuck?
And she's a little
She's stacking wood. That's sexy as hell, though. I don't know why. she's getting milk in her Sunday sweats. That's fine. I don't know.
Her Sunday sweats.
Yeah. But no, I think that's one of those things. It's one of. I think she. But like I said, for not wanting to do it. Like, not that she doesn't want to do the movie she's in. I just mean for just wanting to do it. She's actually very good.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gotten a lot better too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she played that, and she was supposed to play that way over the top insane baby in Free from Hell,
Mm-hmm.
and she pulled that off. I think they're a badass couple. I've always liked
I admire that. I admire their whole dynamic.
Yeah, they've been together a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and that's saying something in the world as a whole, let alone in the industry.
Yeah, it's something like 23 years or something, 23 or 24 years. It's been a long time.
Yeah. We'll have to get them on sometime, and we'll talk about that. I would love to, honestly, get them on and just ask, like, what would you think? What's your secret in terms of your relationship? What is it that you try and do in terms of blocking out? What have been some, with going at any depths that they're comfortable with?
Mm-hmm. But
they definitely have some massive loyalty for each other, and again, I think it would be good too because you want to see how a strong marriage works.
Yeah.
And again. I've been with Allison for over 13 years now, and it's that ride or die mentality. I really believe, but not just saying. And also really being into each other. Really, I think you have to have that natural chemistry that some people have involuntarily.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things I tell Allison. I'm like, we've been married we've been together for over 13 years. I'm not supposed to be into you, but you're so damn hot to me still. Every day you get hotter. I don't know what it is. I'm supposed to be grossed out by you. But I'm not. You're so hot, and I'm still so attracted. She does the same thing. I don't know what the key is, but that's what it is. I still grab her ass whenever I can.
Yeah, well, that's that
and
soulmate
she still giggles when I do it. And I think it's the little things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, we have fun, and I think that's probably getting back to Sherry and Rob. I think that's probably part of it. You're having fun, not taking life or failures, so to speak, or successes too serious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Never be, for me, never take any of it too seriously because everything can change like that.
Fuck yeah.
That's why I say be thankful for what you have, appreciate it, have fun while it's there. Because in the end, we're all going back to dirt.
Yeah. It's sad.
Doesn't matter who you are, we're all going to die in the end.
Yeah, very true. But
well, not all of us, because you and I are going to.
We're immortal.
Yeah, we've been around for years.
Sinister.
We did this show we did the show in a different dimension at one point. People just don't know it.
Exactly. But I guess they do talk, because I was reading in that same article, all of her, the whole movie in general they talk about, but they get so specific with her characters, and they talk about every single thing from exactly how the costume needs to be, exactly how her voice needs to be, exactly how her.
What's this again? I want to see this. What is this?
Let me find it, because I was researching something on her the other day, and I'm not.
Well,
sure
if you can't find it right now, we'll put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Either on Facebook or YouTube or both, just in case people want to know too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because I'm really curious now.
Well, and it was about 31 because I was looking something up. I was looking for her wig because I wanted the wig, and so I love it. I want that so bad.
Yeah.
And so then I started reading the article because it was in like a magazine or something, and they were talking back and forth with the magazine person, and they're very, very connected, and it's cool.
Are you gonna get the tiger shirt?
That wouldn't
the tiger
fit on
shirt
me.
that Sherry wears too.
I wouldn't be able to pull it off like she does.
Yeah, that's what I mean about her. Like she's like, how the hell?
Yeah, she's got
She
like
looks good.
amazing body.
Yeah. Good job, Rob.
Yeah.
He was a smart man from the start.
Yeah. Wasn't it a blind date? I think I had read
I
that too.
think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Those
Pretty
blind dates,
awesome.
man, sometimes they can be amazing. And same with Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. They were both on a blind date together with their friends, and they ended up connecting instead.
I love Ryan Reynolds.
Oh my gosh, he's hilarious. And all that Deadpool stuff you've been sending me, I'm like, he is just incredible.
That's a role I could pull off. Not as well as he did.
That would be fun.
But yeah, he's multi-talented. He seems very real. I actually, again, nothing's off subject with us, but he does a lot of stuff for like charity. From what I've seen, is a really giving dude too, like a really honestly caring person. From what I've seen, and he just seems really genuine. He just seems like he's a really genuinely. He did Family Guy and stuff too, which he did a really hilarious episode.
I love Family Guy.
Oh yeah, we definitely love that.
Mm-hmm.
But he's definitely multifaceted too. He's another one. Ryan's gonna get on. Ryan!
Can you imagine?
You're out there. Get on the show. I'm gonna bring you on too. Deadpool.
So I know that we're fans of all of his movies, but what are your top? I guess countdown wise, like your what's your favorite one and what's the runner up?
Well, man, that's a toss-up. See, because it's like, it depends on my mood. 31's right up there. 2007's Halloween reboot, reimagining, remake, whatever you want to call it. Oh, boy. But then we get into House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects. Mm-hmm. Again, that's mood contingent. Because if I'm feeling a little more artsy, I'll watch House of a Thousand Corpses. If I'm feeling a little more mainstream, I think there's quite a list. I even liked Lords of Salem.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that too. Allie actually enjoys all the movies too. And that's, again, Lords of Salem, I say that because I fell asleep. We started watching it one night a couple years ago at like 2 in the morning. It was like a weekend. And she stayed up and watched the whole thing. She was into it. But then, of course, I had to watch it. It was pretty good. And I think it was just one of those movies. It was late at night too. It has a real dark tone to it and very
a little bit slower and
3 a.m. witchy kind of.
Yep.
So yeah, it was perfect. So now I bought that one too a long time ago. I'm gonna watch that again. I have a slew of movies I have to watch, but no, I enjoy them all and I enjoy his music. So yeah, I would say that I'm a fan of the entire filmography. I enjoy it all. What about you, Rhiannon?
Well, to follow up on the music, I love his music. I actually listen to it when I'm writing my books. But my favorite one is definitely 31. But it's so hard because, you like them all. But 31 and Devil's Rejects are my top 2 favorites. And then, I love House of a Thousand Corpses and 3 from Hell. So those are kind of, I can't decide which one I like better. Well, not better, but you know what I mean? Which one's my more favorite one? Yeah. I like both the Halloweens. And then after all of those, then Lords of Salem.
I hate to say it, I don't like Halloween 2, the 09. I love Rick Rosenthal's 81 Halloween 2. Mm-hmm. But I am not a fan. I've tried so hard. So my apologies, Rob. I'm not a big fan of 2009's Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's remake of that. And for a few reasons. And now, that's the sort of movie, though, as you know, that people either detest it or love that sort of different imagining, that totally different thing.
Yeah.
I think right away of Adam Marcus's Jason Goes to Hell. Mm-hmm. The same sort of thing. You have the people that absolutely love that, and again, it's not a reimagining, right? But just the fact that he took the series and tried to in a different direction. Mm-hmm. So you have people that are really loyal to it and love it, and then some people that just hate it. Hate's a strong word because I don't hate it, but I've tried and I just have a hard time because of the tone of one. It just, but again, to each his own.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't hate it, but not my favorite. But you have some people that love it.
Yeah. Well, same with Season of the Witch. You know, some people hate that movie, and some people
I love it.
Love it.
Love
it.
it.
Yeah.
And I did back when it came out, even though I, like many people, went to the video store, but when I first got into the Halloween series and didn't know. Although I do remember it said right on the back of the VHS box, they had a disclaimer that it had nothing to do with the previous two Halloween movies.
Okay.
So, but I didn't see that at first when I rented it. So I was a younger kid, so I'm into, 20 minutes of the movie. Like, what seems like it's not. Where's Michael?
Yeah.
But I love Season of the Witch. It was ahead of its time. It's weird. It's an awesome movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if it wasn't named Halloween in 1983 or whenever it came out, it would have a lot more. It would have back then. I think it's getting its just due. Like, it's getting its recognition now more so than then.
Yeah.
Because of the Halloween thing, people didn't like, the whole that there was no Michael Myers.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an awesome movie. If you look at it as a standalone, it's great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Season of the Witch, another one people should go check out and pick up if you haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween, Season of the Witch. Awesome stuff. But you're right. Same sort of thing. People either love it or hate it.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Great equation.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff, Rhiannon, as always.
Hell
We
yeah.
diverted. We got into 31 a little bit. Didn't get into too much of the meat of the plot of it. But we don't need to. We'll let people go see. We talked a lot about Doomhead and Richard Brake.
Yes.
So go ahead and watch that. There's some other great characters in that movie, too, 31, Rhiannon.
Mm-hmm. Great actors.
And we didn't go into the meat of it as much, Rhiannon, because we're going to wait and do that until Mr. Brake comes on. Because we don't want to go over everything and not have enough to talk about.
Yeah.
As if that would ever happen.
I know, because he's not in 50 other movies.
Right. So, yeah, I think we'll just go on and be starstruck if he ever did come on. It would be, he'd come on and thanks for having us. And I call it the Cindy, thanks for having me, I should say. I call it the Cindy Brady effect, right? And where you see some guests or some people that are not used to getting on the radio, when the light comes on, they bring it up. That would be us when he came on.
I know. We'll be sweating.
Yeah. I'll be like I'll act more like the smitten high school girl, right? Oh my God, Richard! Yeah, we both can. We can both be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. Yeah. So you never know. We'll put that out there, Mr. Brake. You're always welcome.
Definitely.
And we would love that, Mr. Zombie and Miss Zombie.
Yeah.
Always welcome to join us in the future. We're going to love that. It's going to be fun when you do. See how it is? We've already wrapped them up.
Yep.
We've already interviewed them. They just don't know it yet.
Yeah. We're seeing it from the future. But yeah, so if you want to give your special thanks, and then I will do mine because I have a really big one.
It is. Yeah, sounds good. That time already, Mrs. Zombie Barbie. Well, first and foremost, thank you to the beautiful, radiant, awesome, brilliant Rhiannon Nicole Zombie Barbie, the hostess with the mostest, along with Bud Veno, the host with the host. See how that works?
I like that.
Give a shout out. Yeah, give a shout out to my wife, Allison. I love you, baby. Thank you for being born. Thank you for being my best friend. To my boys, I love you. Daddy loves you, boys. To my brother, John Mondu, my brother, Shane Jubert, my brother, Chris Duran, the man, the shape himself. We mentioned Larry Zerner, everybody out there, Mr. Richard Brake. Thank you for being born and creating Doomhead. Mr. Robin, Cherry Zombie, everybody out there. Keep your chins up, everybody. It's not over till you say it's over, Rhiannon. And you can live your dreams and come on and live your dreams. Do your thing. Chicken wing.
Yeah.
Go out and have fun. And go out and do your thing. Thank you, Rhiannon, to everybody. Chins up. It's not over till you say it's over, Rhiannon. And we're just getting warmed up, baby.
Exactly. Hell yeah. But I want to thank you so much for being my co-host and doing this with me every single time that we do it. I have so much fun and so much love for you and your family, Alice and the boys. You guys are just amazing. I love you so much. I want to thank Johnny Ellenberger for doing our intro and our logo, Chris Atella for doing our outro music, and then our iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcast, which I think that changed now. I don't think it's called that anymore, but the intro and outro for that. Matthew Price Thompson for some of the artwork that's been up on our page. And I want to give a shout out to Crazy Ink Publishing, who I am published through. They did Broken Halo and Broken Halo Blood Curse, which is out on Amazon and all book platforms right now. But right now we have a box set coming out. Oh God, there goes all my stuff. A box.
You're making a mark there. You're going to make people remember it. Let's proceed. Man, there's that fallibility we talked about. That's perfect. See, you would cringe before we met about something like that happening. Now it's perfect. I'm glad you're embarrassed because I was been embarrassed on shows when I've done something I shouldn't have. So
we'll put all that back. There we go. Well, I didn't spill my drink.
People remember that. It's upside down, Rhiannon.
Is it?
No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, is it really?
I made you look. No, it looks perfect. I love you, kid. You're the best.
Too. But so we have a box set coming out called Possessed by Passion, which it is right now on pre-order on Amazon. 99 cents. You're going to get 21 books from 21 international best-selling authors, USA best-selling authors. It's going to be incredible. So everybody go check it out. Follow the webpage, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're all on there. Possessed by Passion. And it releases in March 2021, I believe. But we're right now doing our huge release, trying to get all these pre-orders because we want to make it to the top with this box set. So go do that. And with that, I am done.
Rhiannon, congratulations, my friend, and to everybody out there. What a deal. Go out there.
Yes.
And grab some good reading. Rhiannon is an amazingly talented author. And go out and get that. Everybody out there. Congratulations to you and everybody else.
Thank you. So excited. It's going to be great. So we're excited.
As you should be, my friend.
Thank you.
So quickly before we go, everybody next week, we're not going to tell you who the guest is. Well, we're going to have an amazing guest on next Saturday. So join myself, Veno, and Rhiannon Nicole, Zombie Barbie.
Yeah.
The hostesses with the hostesses. And next week, we're going to show you Saturday. We're going to bring an awesome guest. We're excited. I hope you are too. Love you, Rhiannon.
Love you too.
Love you.
Bye.